At this point, we turn our attention to the latter verses of this passage, Revelation 22, 10 to 12. Behold, I am coming quickly, obvious in its meaning, but to unseal Revelation, we will focus on these underlined portions. On the topic of unsealing, therefore seal up the vision, for it refers to many days in the future. Daniel 8:26. Seal not the sayings of the prophecy of this book, for the time is at hand. Revelation 22:10. When John was told not to seal the book of Revelation, it was because what he saw wasn't for a far-off future. It was for his time. Unlike Daniel, who was told to seal his prophecy until the end, John's message was urgent, immediate. The time wasn't coming, it had arrived. He that is unjust, let him remain unjust still, and he that is righteous, let him remain righteous still. It's a chilling line because it means the dividing line had already been drawn. The time for repentance, the time for change had reached its conclusion. The gospel had gone out. The harvest was complete. This wasn't a command to stop caring about souls. It was the divine announcement that the covenantal mission was complete, finished. The fields had been worked, the fruit gathered, the threshing floor prepared. Jesus had already said the harvest is the end of the age, and in John 4:35 he told his disciples, "Lift up your eyes and look on the fields, for they are white, all ready to harvest." That wasn't about a harvest thousands of years later. It was about their own generation. The fields were already white, ready for reaping. The messianic mission was reaching its ripeness. And what happens after harvest? The sorting, the separation of wheat and chaff, the judgment that Jesus said would fall on that generation. Paul confirms this harvest was global in reach. Their sound went into all the earth, and their words unto the ends of the world. The gospel is come unto you, as it is in all the world, preached to every creature which is under heaven. Jews out of every nation under heaven heard the gospel at Pentecost. In other words, by the time Revelation was written, the Great Commission had reached its fulfillment. The message had gone out. The witness to the nations was complete. The covenant was closed. The end of the age had arrived. And evangelism, as a covenant duty to warn Israel and the nations, had reached its terminus. Immediately after that declaration, Jesus says, "Behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me, to give every man according as his work shall be." That's the same promise he gave in Matthew 16:27 to 28. "The Son of Man shall come in the glory of his Father with his angels, and then he shall reward every man according to his works. Verily I say unto you, there are some standing here which shall not taste of death till they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom." Revelation 22 and Matthew 16 are mirror texts. Both speak of imminent reward and judgment within the lifetime of that generation. So what does that mean for us? It means the frantic, eschatological urgency of evangelism, the idea that we are racing against the clock, is over. The gospel did reach the ends of the known world. The harvest was gathered. The judgment came. Christ returned in glory and power to consummate the age of the old covenant and to establish his everlasting kingdom. But of the gospel itself, it still speaks, not as a warning of some impending doom, but as an invitation to live in the reality of the fulfilled kingdom. We preach today not to postpone destruction, but to awaken hearts to the reality of what's already been accomplished. The time was at hand then, and now the kingdom is always at hand, because Christ doesn't reign from afar. He reigns from within. The harvest had been gathered. The field is at rest. The world is no longer waiting. It's time to live as though redemption is real, because it is.